Pick up Mike Durbin's Conan action figure, bro. Look how beautiful this thing is. I freaking love the packaging, man. Look at this. MikeDurbin.com, guys. Help Mike out, man. This is a beautiful action figure, bro. Beautiful. MikeDurbin.com.
We're recording, Husey.
Oh. And we are back. And we're back with the punctual 4, as I think we should refer to this episode so far. Of course, we got the Aussie Guy, the Dane Machine is here. Dane, hello.
Hello, Husey.
We've got Herr Durband himself, Mike, the guy who loves audio so much that he's named after it. Fix your Mike Durband. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Husey. Great to see you. In the
The volume is low.
Is it really?
And
well, that'll be fixed. I will fix that in post, unlike some podcasts.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And
You'll also fix it in current, I'd imagine.
yeah, that would help. Yeah, because if you
Am I
fix
better
it
now?
at the time,
Getting louder.
Yeah,
You sounded fine to me the whole time, but
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
don't keep it at 100. It just fix it at the beginning, then you won't have to do anything, and then mailbags won't be late. And speaking of fixing audio, the guy who almost botched the Sandman interview, the Chadster. Chad, how you doing today?
oh, it's great to be here. But the only one who could have botched the Sandman interview was the Sandman. But he showed up, he was there, and he delivered. So that's all that really matters.
Exactly, and from the Sandman to the alleged Snowman, we're returning to a favourite topic of ours, Wingling there, man. The king of podcasting advice. So many hit podcasts such as, Durban, name them all.
Jesus, from the beginning, we got Wrestling with Reality.
Yeah.
Tuesday's Inspiration. What was the?
No, Monday Motivation. I'll do it. Monday Motivation. I think he had Road to Redemption.
Yeah.
Obviously, Retro Wrestling Revival is the current one.
Fig Friday.
Yeah, Fig Life. Well done, Husey. We had. What have him and Brother Martin done? They've done
Wrestling with reality.
Yeah, they would. Mike said that. First.
Oh, said that. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first thing he said.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, maybe he hasn't had that many. It's just he's
hello, the Beaver Show.
Yeah.
of course the Leave It to Beaver,
Papa
No.
and Beaver.
yes, the show with his dad. But what we're going to this week is his brand new launch.
Oh.
It is Randumb Conversations.
Oh, yes.
Now, if you go into your podcast app and you look up Randumb Conversations, you're going to get probably 30 or 40, maybe even more different podcasts of that same name. So Matt Wilson is actually the one who clued me into this new show. So Matt Wilson, this episode is dedicated to you, my friend.
Yeah, Matt
Wilson's you're always
the man.
there's Joe.
Hey,
Keep me waiting in the goddamn backstage like some kind of asshole.
I don't let anybody get their line stepped on. That's why.
But the
going on?
thing that makes the Randumb Conversations episode podcast so different is the fact that these guys don't plan it and they wing it on the spot. When's that ever been done before? Winging it. And it's always gold, and that's what we're here to kindly respect today. Right, chaps?
That's right.
indeed.
Just a quick note to all podcasters out there: if you're watching this or listening, and you also do shows or podcasts, always remember to have your microphone on, especially when you have paid a superstar to record an interview with you. You always want to make sure that your microphone is turned on. Now, Chad, you may want to take a little break for a second. So this is an example of not having your microphone turned on.
I know.
Here live at Starcast down under here with the Slab Society in California. Once again, here with legend himself, the one and only Mr. Sheffield. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too, guys.
Man.
And ask you all the rest of this year about your favourite films and compare them. First one, who's your favourite professional wrestler of all time?
The Undertaker.
Excellent choice. Do you have a favourite opponent that you've had over the years?
Favorite opponent? I might piss some people off. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. First question I'd like to ask is one question you've been asked 5,000 times.
The thing for me, like, because he needed the subtitles, obviously his microphone was turned off, but like at least Shelton Benjamin's got some bass in that voice. You could kind of hear what Shelton Benjamin had to say. His voice is so effeminate that it's just like you couldn't hear a word he said.
Yeah. Still, that's groundbreaking info to find out that a wrestler like The Undertaker, like that's like when you hear a rock star going, "Oh, I was greatly inspired by the Beatles." Like, wow, that's really interesting. What else do you take under? Are you overachiever?
Hopefully, our friend Piers, what's his name? Piers? How do you say
Austin,
that?
I think.
Yeah, Piers Austin. Hopefully, maybe 6 months from now, he will send that clip to our good friend Carl.
Maybe
he'll have another
Maybe he's
meltdown.
peering in right now. Huh?
Uh,
I did his show, I think.
Yeah, you
maybe
did.
he's showing off his Austin body.
Oh, wow. The links are amazing.
All right, Chad, you can come back.
His Zelda hole. Am I right?
Hey, what's up? Little Wangland time. Wangy.
Yeah,
He's
back to the we're going back to the beginning here.
It's let me tell you something. I mean, for all the podcasts this guy has tried to start and stop and end, and here we go. He's got the beaver. He doesn't have the beaver. I don't know what he's got anymore. He keeps on coming back.
Yeah.
Like herpes or luggage. Never goes away.
Or the Undertaker.
Oh, I don't get the reference.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you missed it. All right, Dean. This is the second episode. Am I correct? The second episode of Randumb Conversations.
But no, I think the first few clips are from the first episode, and then there's a chunk from the third episode. But I left episode 2 alone.
So, just to refresh everybody's memory, this is John Wangland, and then his good buddy there, Richie Reardon, who joined up with Rad Rob's radio network for like 2 episodes. They did a very good political kind of podcast, and I wish they would have continued with that. But then Richie like disappeared. He abandoned Rob, and then took a long hiatus, and then he's been back with John, for the past few months. So I don't know. Who knows?
Long
what
hiatus.
Yeah.
That must be refreshing.
Yeah.
That's
Richie
probably great.
took time off to grow away bizarre facial hair. And he's come back, and thankfully will not focus on that and just focus on personal stuff instead.
No.
So yeah, sorry, go Chad.
No, it's just a question with Richie. I just need the background again on him. So is he the friend of John?
He was the so he joined because of the Vampiro show. Remember that?
When you're listening to music, what's 5 things that you got to listen to now since you're a big music guy? Cut off there for a second. Hold on, buddy. We'll wait till the internet gets back. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're here. Hello, hello. Are you here, brother? Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Remember
that Vampiro show.
There's one we forgot, and also Dan Seven. The reason that Chad's here is because of the Dan Seven experience. But the Vampiro show had a Patreon. Richie signed up to the Patreon. Vampiro fucked off, and Richie was still getting charged Patreon, even though there was no Patreon. So John reached out and said, "Hey man, like you're probably getting." Rather than shut down the Patreon, he reached out to him and said, "You're getting charged for a Patreon that doesn't exist." And so then they became friends from there. And,
Best friends.
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually pull the clip, and but there is a moment I heard, and I completely forgot to go back and pull the clip because I was driving at the time. Yeah, John said that Richie's his best friend. And that's I feel bad. I really feel bad for Brother Martin in that moment. When I heard him say Richie's my best friend, I was like, "Oh, Brother Martin, you poor little man." You know?
Time for Ralph Wiggum heartbreak again.
Yeah, exactly.
You can actually see the heartbreaking.
Michael,
well, Brother Martin has a new show, so maybe he's coming back.
But to get the clips kicked off, definitely go with number one, the intro, and. Yeah, like right from the get-go, it's just, to me, it was just classic for this show. I found there's something in this. It's about 2 minutes 20 long, this clip. Obviously, stop it whenever you please, but I feel there's something in here for every one of you. For all of your favorite things, there's something in there for every one of you. So, yeah, kick it off with clip number 1, intro.
All right, everybody, welcome to the debut episode of Randumb Conversations. I am John Wangland, and joining me as always is my partner, Mr. Richie Reardon. What's going on, Mr. Richie? How are you today, my friend?
What is up, brother?
Randumb Conversations, where they pre-planned the topic of World War III.
And had a graphic ready to go.
Yeah. Rehearsed Randumb Conversations there, man.
It's how'd they come up with that name? It's groundbreaking stuff there. I don't know. I'd love to be in that brainstorming session.
Yeah, I haven't been that inspired since David Radigan's World Through My Eyes.
That's what it was about, though. That was perfect.
Callback. Massively long callback.
All right, so John looks like he's in a different setting than his usual shows. Is that his house or his dad's house?
This is absolutely the setting for the Beaver show, and I'm about ready for Stan the Man to walk by for some milk and cookies in his underwear any minute now, because this looks like this is late at night, and Stan the Man must be getting ready for bed upstairs.
We can see that Wingling's forehead and eyebrows match the curtains in the background.
I can tell you one thing. Well, never mind. I was going to mention a certain personal situation in John's life. Should I just mention it?
No, that's coming up, Joe. You don't need to mention it. It's coming up.
But just relate it to myself, but I'll save it, yeah.
And if you didn't know about how much of a showman that Richie Reardon is, look at how he's teasing us with the facial hair reveal.
Also, far be it from me as a guy who just sits at a desk with a mess behind him most of the time, but at least you guys attempt to do something for a background. So we've been giving John tips for 5-6 years now. Like, you need something behind you, not in that way that I know you got a little tickle
not
there.
Someone.
Yeah, something. I don't care what it is. Just put a green screen up or something. But this doesn't fly anymore. Nobody's clicking on YouTube clips that look like that.
And Husey, what's that flag behind there? Is that one of yours?
Yeah,
he's got the matching hat. He's got the
flag.
He's got the hat.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll talk about it.
He loves it from Conor McGregor. I was worried. Some of my clips are really short, and I was worried that this episode was going to be really short. Not a fucking chance. About 15 seconds in.
No way.
It's fucking first clip.
Well, it's been a long time since we've had these guys on the show. So
he really brings something out of us.
Yeah.
Here, as we're taping this, and we're starting a new show on our podcast network here. It's called Randumb Conversations, where me and my buddy John are gonna just get on here and talk about life, talk about something besides wrestling. I know you guys get a lot of that content, and that is one of our passions. It's what we enjoy to talk about and do really well. And hopefully y'all are enjoying that content as well, and keep checking it out each and every week. But we wanted to drop some more, some more stuff for you each and every week.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about wrestling, so the first episode's named after a WCW event.
I thought you were putting your hand up, Hughes. At the same time, I saw the delightful comeback of John's facial expressions as someone else is talking. I was watching Richie, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's see what this is. And you look over, and John's like,
yeah,
all right, chill out.
This is the first time Wangling's not had to worry about having to edit around the stammering.
Yes. One thing was most important, as soon as Richie came in, and the thing that stood out to me for you, Mike, that you would jump all over, is the audio, the music mix, everything that goes into the intro here. And coming up soon, the music's just going to stop, and there's no it's not like a moment where the show kicks in or whatever. The music just stops. Now, Mike will have the Get My Go theme music at the start of the show, and there'll be a moment where the Get My Go music stops, and then we're kind of kicking into the show then, you know what I mean? Mike has that understanding. But Richie, I tried to clip mostly John for this stuff, but Richie is a bit of a dumb cunt himself. But he is so he's so low effort, just so monotone, so boring, so low energy, it just, and he does talk quite a lot. He gets a bit of confidence with Wangland, and he gets going. It's like, fuck me. Let's get to Wangland saying something gay or weird. You know what I mean?
You damn cunt.
I used to love clipping Wangland, but this has been a drag this time around. There's a lot of boredom in this show.
Some random conversations.
Yeah, we debuted a test episode a couple weeks ago on our wrestling feed during WrestleMania weekend.
And
so
test,
if you've never checked out our stuff before, we have a popular radio show.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop right there, John.
Yeah, I bet you Howard Stern shitting himself.
He's referencing I guess it's radio, because it's, what is it, on an AM band? It's got to be AM, right?
I actually thought it was an FM station when we did review it. But it's one of those weird, doesn't go very far in the, I believe, Atlanta area, somewhere in Georgia, that I don't know how they got connected, but...
Well, you can pay to get on the...
Yeah, you can pay to get on to the station. So it's very, very strange how that all came about.
I bet it was a spam email.
Hey guys, you're listening to WFAG.
I like to throw it back and steal a nice line from Greg Giraldo on the Baba Booey roast here. But for John to say that they have a popular radio show is like saying Chris Martin is not classically handsome. So,
coming up though, also listen to the logic. With the radio show, they've got a wrestling show on a Sunday night and a Saturday night, I believe, in Atlanta. Listen to the logic coming up with what they chose to do on the night of WrestleMania.
And podcast on Facebook and YouTube and on various radio stations in the United States called the Retro Wrestling Revival. But we wanted to step out and do some different stuff. So we during WrestleMania weekend, we knew nobody was going to be listening to wrestling stuff at our normal time slot, which happens during WrestleMania. So we're like, let's do something different. So we did a little test episode of it, and we got a great response from it. So we decided to turn it on into a show that is just going to be designed to discuss life, social issues, politics,
going on in the world, politics.
Yeah, anything, man, anything that's out there, whatever's on our mind and whatever's on your mind. We're going to make it interactive. It's going to be on YouTube each week. It's going to be on Facebook.
We're going to make it interactive. Really hard to make it interactive when nobody's listening, really tough. And look, the views on these, this episode I think is at 65. I think I'm responsible for 3 of those. The latest episode is at 13. I'm responsible for 2 of those. Look, my show, United States to Australia, check it out. Look, we don't get high views, but I'd be a little bit upset if after 4 or 5 days I only had 13 views, and 2 of them were a guy trolling him.
Yeah.
Besides, this is nothing new. This is just when he was doing Wrestling with Reality, and then it was like, oh, but on Monday we're going to have Motivation Mondays, and we're just going to talk about whatever. It's just a repeat of the same. Next it's going to be a football show, and then next it's going to be a whatever that's not wrestling. That hey, if we just add that magic ingredient, we'll be successful finally.
Dean, what was the football show? Gridiron Greats or something?
Well, I named the original one because I came up with that idea, and that was Tackling Reality. As a spin-off of Wrestling with Reality. But no, I don't remember what his and Brother Martin's football show was called.
That needs like a throwback T-shirt, just like 10 years down the road. No one's gonna know what it means except 5 people. Just a Tackling Reality shirt.
Feed, and we're going to be on a couple of different radio stations in the United States, in Atlanta and New York. So this is going to be debut before it goes live on radio. So in the upcoming weeks, there's going to be more stuff that's going to be on a couple of different stations that we're going to have posted on our growing social media that you'll be seeing over the coming weeks. So please tune in and listen up to the show and what we got going on and where we're going to direct you, because we're going to have a lot of great content for you every single week. It's going to be
Did everyone miss what he said there? It's going to debut here before it goes live on the radio.
Yeah, in Atlanta,
everything he does
Atlanta,
is so
New York.
backwards. None of it ever makes sense. Logistically, it does not make sense.
He might surprise us here, though, Mike, because the show is moving also to New York. And if there's one thing I've learned, is that if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So
That's right.
Also, he's growing social media. You got to see over the next couple of weeks. Time to start ringing India to get the social media.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, when he says New York, does he mean New York City, or does he mean like his hometown of? I mean, there's a big difference.
I don't think he knows the difference.
He's a New Yorker. That's why he's got
New
so
York,
much
yeah.
attitude and intensity.
And I don't know much about Atlanta, but the little I do know, I really don't think that Wingling is going to be, the flavor of the month over there.
He's definitely not the right color of the month.
Whoa. His eyebrows are.
Mike Durban was on here and he was talking about the Conan Major Bendy's action figure. You got one too, don't you, Vince? Yeah. These are high quality, like the high quality packaging, high quality art, high quality figure.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. But Durban wasn't kidding, guys. These are real high quality. So you can even get these autographed. MikeDurban.com. Check them out before they're gone.
Yeah, so clip number 2, I believe, is the plan. It's pretty much a follow-on from this. I just clipped out some
great
of the
content.
This is what Randumb Conversations is going to be.
Great content for you every single week. It's going to be a fun show, man. I'm really excited for this. I know you are too.
I'm pretty pumped about it, man. When we, when we were talking about it, you were getting ready to go on vacation and things like that, and we just kind of shot the shit and decided, hey, man, we have such great conversation when we're getting the wind up to filming our wrestling show and taping our wrestling show and things like that. And so,
yeah, I just love the fact that it says, make sure to subscribe to our page. And it's like, where? Where's the address?
If you just keep watching the bottom, maybe it's going to come up. Just keep watching.
Oh. That's the bottom watching with these guys.
I don't think I brought this up before. I did have a video of where I was searching for this on YouTube, and I typed in Randumb Conversations, and I knew that this podcast wasn't going to come up. So I screen recorded as I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, and then went back and then typed in something new. You know what I mean? This is a fucking dumb name for a podcast. Now, whatever you think of the name United States of Australia, the first thing I did when I came up with it was Google it. Has anyone else ever fucking done this before? And nobody else had, other than a book. I think some cunt wrote a book that was called United States of Australia. Other than that, I was like, no, this is mine. I own this now. You know what I mean? Like, be smarter. Yeah. Don't come up with such a dumb name that's so difficult to search.
I mean, John was brilliant enough to name our show indirectly. He didn't mean to do it, but he named our show. And there is and there never will be another Get My Go. That's not possible that anybody else will come up with that name.
And then he goes on and admits on his show that he did this to fucking get my go. He gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
Yeah.
But he
Hey,
all the 10 shows that he's done, he's never been able to think of anything original.
hey guys, don't forget to turn into my video game show, which I'll be calling the Joe Rogan Experience.
I've always thought that this format, kind of similar to Theo Von and Joe Rogan, how they do their shows, I always thought that we could put a phenomenal one on ourselves. And that first episode flowed so well and felt right. So, now we're pulling the trigger on it. And I think it's going to be a really good move for us in the future here.
Yeah, I really do. And we're going to make it really interactive and stuff. And we're going to do stuff in the very near future as we grow our audience. It's going to take a lot of time, like anything when you start a new project off to grow an audience. So,
doesn't it?
Or you can just, send some Bitcoin across to India.
Yeah. Hughesy called it
Target gift cards.
The Joe Rogan Experience. Richie thinks they're going to be Joe Rogan and Theo Von. But now, random conversations, like who does every single podcaster, this is what they think. Like, hey, we have great conversations. People are would be entertained by them. Let's do a podcast. We'll call it Random Conversations. Everyone take a guess. What do you think Johnny Podcasting is going to suggest Random Conversations will be like? Now, not another podcast. Think more television, but... Everyone take a guess what you think.
The Bill Maher Show.
Crossfire.
Queer as folk.
I was going to go with Bill Maher, too.
As you check this out, make sure you spread the word. And whatever outlets you're listening on, whether it's audio or YouTube or Facebook, make sure you like our page, follow it, Random Conversations. And any topic that you want to discuss or that we want to discuss, we don't have a set format of any sorts. It's kind of like Seinfeld. It's Seinfeld's show.
Show about nothing.
Yeah,
who's the wacky neighbor?
Yeah, who does the Michael Richards stand up in it?
That's gonna be Stan the Man. I told you, he's gonna walk in all crazy whacked out in the middle of the night in his underwear.
Oh my God,
Mike! I don't want to give you extra work. But every time Wangland finishes a sentence in this episode, could you go?
I'll come up with some bass riffs.
Yeah, and obviously Wangland didn't realize that Seinfeld was a highly scripted and rehearsed show.
Yes, with stories that weave around the entire episode.
It wasn't Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is improv. He's so
I can't wait till the next episode. What's the deal with these airline peanuts?
But out of all the shows that we've all been on, I mean, probably a dozen or more, how much time do you spend talking about growing your audience? And we're going to do this with our audience, and we're going to be this in the audience, and audience, and growing. That's all we've heard about in both of these clips is what they're going to do with the audience. And there's nobody listening.
Nobody. I will give John credit right now. I think this is the best he's ever sounded. He's got the microphone right under his chin where it's supposed to be. Normally it's 3 feet off camera. And Richie, I know Richie does have a snowball microphone, but I don't think he's using it in this for some reason.
We have a couple ideas when we start a show of things we want to discuss maybe, but other than that, we really don't. Yeah, we're shooting from the hip, and that's where we're going to start tonight. So what's new in your world, man? Let's kick that off. What's new in your world? What's going on?
So this one is, just some classic little banter between the guys. Wangland getting funny and Reardon telling us about the fun times that he's having.
I'm sorry if my voice is a little bit hoarse because, we're coming off the heels of UFC 300, and I went and tried to put my young boy pants on and tried to hang with the big boys again, drinking, man, and I couldn't
How'd
do
that
it,
work
so
for
I
you?
apologize. Oh, man, I ended up under a pool table.
Did your lovely wife have to come and drag you out from under the pool table?
No, I didn't do that to her. I ended up staying the night over there and at my buddy's house, and
Hey, I heard you ended up under a pool table, but if all goes to plan, I'll end up on top of a pinball machine like Jodie Foster in The Accused.
I hate it when people make drinking seem uncool.
What about young boys there at the beginning?
Yeah.
He was not hanging with the young boys. He's hanging with the big boys, but Wangland got all interested when he heard the young boys and got really close. And go back to screen grab his face. His face got all contorted, and he got really into the story.
Oh,
that laugh there, Mike. You have to zoom in on that laugh.
Yeah, that's going to be the thumbnail, the drawing I do of him.
I saw that face. I was like, this clip has to be pulled. You know,
Look at that.
wait,
Ooh.
I said clip, not dick.
But
Clip.
that's where he said young boys, and he got all into it and smiled
Yeah.
all maniacally. Welcome back, Mr. Wangland.
What's up next? I forget what the next clip is.
It's a good. I know it's going to be a good one just by the title.
That'll be the
language.
episode title. Welcome back, Mr. Wangland.
Yeah.
I want to see.
All right, this one's called Wanglish, and my God, I've missed Wanglish.
I want to see Mike Tyson knock fucking Jake Paul's block off of his fucking head, man. I want to see us knock his fucking head off, bro.
Yeah.
Especially after those comments about
The comments about his daughter, how he's going to bury him
seriously.
next to her. Like,
Fuck
I don't.
that.
That's a fresh take.
But knock his block off his head.
I just got that.
I hope he
me
gets
fucking-
punched right in the face and head there, man.
And they proceeded to have the markiest conversation about that fight I've ever heard, about how angry they are at Jake Paul and they want to see Tyson murder him. It's like, Jesus Christ, you fucking losers.
Richie moved his camera over. Husey, what's on that flag there?
It
somebody
looks like
holding
a
two belts.
I see two fighters.
yeah, it looks like a Conor McGregor, and I think it's two McGregors.
He loves him some McGregor. I do know that.
It all starts at home, and you have to have both parents for them to be respectful kids. I believe that. I think it's possible still. Like, you
Sorry.
Both
This one's called Rumors Confirmed, right? Yeah. This just cracked me up. Yeah, just listening to Richie's little speech and then Wangland's follow up, and then it does confirm a rumor. So yeah, go.
John right now looks like he's like, all right, I want to talk about this. I want to get it off my chest. I want the world to know.
know, people like Theo Vaughn, who he talks about how he was raised by his mother and stuff like that, and he always has mental health issues from it because his dad wasn't around, teach him how to be a man and stuff.
Yeah,
and a lot of our youth is going through that, and it's really sad.
It's tough, man. I'm a single parent. It's
Now, me pausing the clip did kind of ruin that a little bit. What Richie says at the beginning is kids need both parents in their life. I truly believe that to be like good citizens or whatever. And then for Wangland to just be like he did try and couch it a little bit, Richie, when I think he kind of realized who he was talking to, and he was like, it works sometimes. Theo Vaughn has kind of worked out okay. But yeah, then Wangland did finally decide to let the world know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm glad the rumors, confirmed. We got that off the table. Now John can go play the field, enjoy himself, live his life, gets, like he's doing right now. Really, making it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to renew her license on time there, man.
Remember when
this guy should be out? This guy should be out bird dogging chicks. What the fuck is he doing podcasting? This is horse shit.
There's a place up by where he lives, I've heard, called the Blue Oyster. That when you go in, there's a dance that they like you to do with the people that are in there. If you've ever seen the movie Police Academy, it's pretty accurate.
Timely reference.
There you go. Sorry.
Does anyone
I just love Police Academy.
Remember when Jessica Simpson's parents got divorced and then the dad started becoming his true self? Does anybody remember that?
Yes, unfortunately I do.
Yeah.
No, but thanks for coming out live on air, Durbin.
No, he was all of a sudden they were seeing him do he was like a photographer and he was photographing like scantily clad young boys. Chad, you remember this, right?
I do, unfortunately.
It's a true story. And
it is.
I think John's going to go down that route now.
And I have my daughter full time, and it's just me and her, and I'm
full time.
Full time. Wow.
How did that happen?
Whoa.
That sounds contentious. That's a contentious situation there.
All right, so Stan the man and the daughter.
It gets a little bit more it's very interesting what he says next. I find.
I mean, for a father to get full custody, the wife had to have done something very wrong because it's usually the other way around. Wow.
So's Wangland.
Or they showed footage of him on the news talking about serving veterans their Thanksgiving
what a
dinner
great
and show
citizen,
what a
yeah.
humanitarian he is.
time. And
No,
it's just me.
I think this next thing he has to say is very telling.
Okay.
You know, it's and I have my daughter full time, and it's just me and her. And you know, I mean, she has her mom, and her mom does her own, thing. Whatever. I'm not getting into knocking anybody or my ex-wife. She's a good person and all that stuff. But my daughter, it's being her 99% of the time. It's just how it is. And
wow, that's very, very rare. We got. Does anybody? Matt Wilson, can you find out what happened here? Somebody.
That was uncomfortable, right? Like,
there's a whole other road that's right over there, but I think I'm gonna steer that way.
Now I'm just picturing John actually leaving the house. Now he's walking down to his corner pub. He's going over that jukebox, and everyone that knows him there is like, fuck. And it's all he's playing Kid Rock Picture. He's playing Aerosmith. Tell me what it takes to let you go, and on and on and on. People are gonna need to hit that skip button.
It's the way he said she's got her own thing going on. Like, I don't know. I'm imagining lots of dicks.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I would guess Wangland never banging her ever and constantly booing her naked body possibly made her think she should go elsewhere to find a new owner.
Wow. That's so weird, man.
Yeah, I heard a very strong rumor, but this is just an absolute rumor, that around the date of August 12th, 2020, things started to go awry. But that's just a rumor.
Why do you have such an exact date?
For all our historians out there, that would be what would be the official launch date for a show?
Oh shit!
Oh, that was,
I'm like,
yeah.
I thought somebody actually crawled through the muck, and got the divorce papers or something.
Was it August? I thought it was like June.
No,
July.
well, officially, I mean, we had been doing. Yeah, I think it was.
Like the GMG channel started.
Yeah, you know what? Because the first few episodes I had on my channel,
Mike Durbin Show channel. Yeah.
I can look up the actual dates of those because I still have them.
I think it was like June, July, something like that. The first one.
There you go, August 12th, 2020, when the YouTube channel launched.
Good pull, Chad. Well done.
All right, Dean has entitled this one "Wordsmith."
And Hill had been talking some nasty smack earlier this week, and the guy was out for blood as it was. And boy, he knocked his block off, man. I don't think he's regained his consciousness a day later after he got knocked out on. That was a shot by Perea, man.
Absolutely.
Do they actually talk about World War III?
I think I've only pulled one clip from that.
Okay, because I mean, like, what are we talking? So for Random Conversations, they're not going to talk about wrestling. So all we're going to do is talk about UFC and fighting the whole time. But the whole pull-in for the show was World War III, and here we are talking about God knows what. And World War III was the lure-in for the Random Conversation show.
Yeah. My wife left me. She's a fucking cunt. Speaking of UFC, there, man, we've got a big event coming up.
I had a bunch of other clips. Both episodes 1 and 2 started with big announcements, and then had discussion related to that. And then they like to talk about the UFC, which, my God, is a fucking snore fest. Like, seriously, talk about things that you don't know anything about, like, at all. You know what I mean? Like, try and talk about politics and stuff like that, so we can laugh at you. The UFC stuff is just so boring.
All right,
I think we're now moving. Yeah, we're moving.
So now this hurts my heart. Okay, this just brings me down slightly.
Fucking knew it.
This is when I remember first talking to this guy and him saying, "We're both Mets fans, man," and I'm like, "Oh, here we go." And there's the proof in the pudding. But we all know, of course, that setup pales into comparison what's behind me. So,
do you think that's like it's just a closeted guy who thinks that he's got to talk sports? Talk with the dudes and the fellas. He's got to know all of it. He really knocked his block off. Hey, did you see old who's an old Met? Darryl Strawberry. You see old Strawberry out there? He can swing that bat. You know, did you watch a game last night? Oh no, I was too busy dealing with my bitch wife. Telling me I can't have any beers.
He's not going to say that.
like a real dude.
Now, is this the old Fig Life room?
No, Fig Life was in his house
Yeah, it
with
was
the
a
wood
jam.
paneling.
Where
I know,
are
it was a joke. It was a joke.
Okay.
the figs? Where are the
Ask it again.
figs?
The figs he lost in the settlement.
Yeah.
They are on eBay right now. We're at a garage sale.
Yeah.
You know, as somebody who, John was collecting before I was, like, I got to give him credit. His collection was pretty big.
Yeah,
So,
when you could just go online and dump thousands of dollars fast to try to catch up with everybody else who was collecting for years, it's pretty good. It's pretty impressive.
With zero regard for bank account, credit rating, or marriage. Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
Imagine if that was like the start of it, though, like the figure collecting. Every day these boxes of toys were coming to the house.
For sure, dude.
Do you really?
We were saying it back then that there's
true.
no way she's not looking for an exit.
To it, Jeremy just sent me a message. He says, YouTube won't let me log in for the chat, but question for you both. If you would have dinner with anyone living or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh,
Man.
If I could have dinner with anyone living or dead, I would prefer that they were living, man.
Liberace.
Hugh Jackman.
What I loved about this clip is the history of Wangland and his listeners. So, as we discussed earlier, Richie was a listener to one of John's podcasts, and now they're best friends and co-hosts. That was a listener texting him.
Yeah.
And we know before. Oh, who was the big fat fella back?
Rob.
No, the other one.
Jeff.
The other one.
Jeffrey.
No, the other one.
No, when they did the retro,
The only guy
Facebook,
who.
the only guy that would chat
is ever in the chat. Yeah.
The guy that worked with Brother Martin?
No. It was the guy that got them guests.
Didn't they eventually have him on?
Matt Wilson.
wait.
Matt Wilson is going to put it in the chat.
The guy whose show we watched? That guy?
Oh, Love?
No. It was the guy.
Michael
Loving.
Michael Loving. Yes, we got there. This is another Michael Loving that John started chatting with. He's given him his phone number. He couldn't log into the YouTube chat, so I'm going to send my really mundane, boring, overdone fucking question via text to you. So that was great. And yeah, the next clip is John's response with a little bit tacked on just because Richie's response was boring. He talked about some rapper that I've never heard of. But I was amused by John's response to the very end of Richie's description. That's the
does he say Kevin Spacey?
Oh, Jesus. The next question. What's on your Mount Rushmore? Who's your Mount Rushmore of people you'd want to go to dinner with? So stupid. I mean, come on. It's fucking amateur. And again, these guys want to be Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn. Never once have I seen a clip of either one of their shows where they're sitting in their rooms with pictures behind them or a tight shot of somebody's fucking stupid head with a dumb, no offense, with a flag behind them. It's like, this is what we're trying to do. No offense. I wasn't trying to take a shot at the flag. It's just a flag to a guy who lives in America. This just makes no sense. But Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan are their inspiration.
Yeah, and Rogan and Theo Vaughn got their big attention, big audience because they're celebrities small talking with celebrities. It's not the conversation that's what brings attention. It's the fact that Joe Rogan would be having these conversations with like Mike Tyson and Robert Downey Jr. and fucking James Hetfield from Metallica.
Well, speaking of, James Hetfield, I don't like Joe Rogan. I don't like his show really that much, but I listen to James Hetfield episode because I love James Hetfield. Joe Rogan fucking researched bees because James Hetfield was into bees. You know what I mean? These cunts haven't even researched the fucking thing they decided to talk about. And they think they're going to be Joe Rogan. You fucking morons. Anyway, next clip. John's going to give his answer to that inspiring question.
Mr. Brady from the Brady Bunch.
McMahon.
Predictions. Everybody make your predictions.
Yeah,
Joe Biden.
Oh, Steve Austin.
JFK. Here we go.
It's where he asks.
Anyone living or dead, I'd like it to be my ex-wife and I want her to be dead.
Any predictions on who John wants to have dinner with?
Kevin Spacey or Steve Austin?
Brad Pitt.
Liberace.
It's where he asks, he goes, what's the 27 club? We're not making it past 21.
Mm-hmm.
And he died right on the day he turned 21.
Talk about
profound.
foreshadowing, huh?
Man.
Talk about foreshadowing. For me, God.
I'm going to guess he says his father.
It's So the two of them could go to Burger King if they want. I mean, like, he doesn't have to go to dinner with him. You just go to Burger King for a burger through the drive-thru.
Mike's really close.
Oh no!
Oh, come on.
His grandfather.
My grandpa there, man.
Yeah, it's got to be his grandfather.
Anybody, celebrity or non-celebrity, that I could pick. Mine would be my grandpa if I could have dinner
boring,
with him.
dude.
I was gonna say that, but then I was like, I'm gonna keep it celebrity so people at least know.
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Yeah, you
That's
suck,
what
John.
everybody does, you idiot. Nobody goes with their grandpa.
I originally was going to clip the whole thing of where he explains it because I thought when he said it, I thought, Dad, all right, he didn't really know his grandpa, but he knows about like he was fucking fought in wars and
World War II hero.
Yeah, no, he just fucking his grandpa had Alzheimer's when he became a father. That was basically the whole thing. He's like, I wanted him to see me as a father. Great.
Imagine like his grandpa was probably like a real man's man and just, how they were back then. And then he sees his grandson with that fucking haircut and those eyebrows.
Why have you got little plastic black man nailed up around your goddamn office? Are you not a figure, are you?
Yeah, well, there's no doubt his grandpa would have grown up in a time where he would call him a ready, Mike? It.
You're married to a
fighting for the old pink team. Yeah, how long have we been? All right, so 2020. Then this has been almost 4 years of this.
Yeah.
And prior to that, it was like a year and a half of bullshit with him, maybe more, whatever. So we've all been around and been on shows with each other and stuff for all that time. And I mean, we all look pretty much the same. Hughesy's aging in reverse, of course, which is just ridiculous. I'm getting a little more gray, but John's not aging well. John looks old. Like, I don't know if the forehead's growing too. I don't know if that's because his face is getting fatter because he's going bald. But either way, not good.
His face is getting fatter. I will say that.
I don't know what it's called, but here's the next clip.
Go check out Shogun. Don't be like a dumbass like I was in the beginning, where you like start something and you're like, oh, this is stupid.
Right.
You know, I did that with Game of Thrones originally too, and then it became my favorite show.
I still haven't seen it.
You gotta go see it, man. It's one of the best shows ever.
Go where?
I did that.
I was that way with Sons of Anarchy, believe it or not.
Man. Yeah.
Cool.
It's we get in our own minds sometimes.
Yeah, I was watching the first episode. Well, I'm just one of those people that I'm like, I'm not a fucking bandwagon guy. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, it's the coolest thing out. You know, fucking Pokemon Go, never played it.
Fuck that shit, right?
Fuck that shit.
No.
I'm not a Pokemon guy I'm not a bandwagon guy. Well, he's got two Conor McGregor pictures right behind him. And of course, when it comes to fucking, the first thing Wangland thinks is, let's fuck some shit there, man.
You know, Richie's not a Pokemon guy, but John is a Pokemon guy. So he's a little.
We do have a new quote for the Wangland dictionary or database. We get in our own mind sometimes.
Yes,
that's a good one.
And I might bury myself to half or more of the wonderful viewers we have here, but we all watch TV shows. We all have our favorites and shit like that. But to me, anyone that tries to treat Sons of Anarchy like it's fucking high literature is like example number one of an imbecile. So sorry if that offends anyone.
Or a dork.
Yeah, like come on, like it was all right, dude, but it wasn't fucking, like stop trying to put it on the level with The Wire.
They were cool.
Stop.
They were cool because they rode motorcycles and they beat people up and killed people.
There's so many wannabe bikers, dude. So many wannabe bikers around here.
Oh, reminds me of Aces and Eights.
Not doing it, bro. Not doing it.
We ain't doing no damn Pokemon here. No, I did the same with Game of Thrones the first time. I was like, this is what everybody's like all up in a roar about. Like that it's the greatest show ever. I was like, this is stupid. I'm like, this is so dumb. And then I go back and there was like nothing to binge. And I remember I turned it on and I'm like, all right, start it from the beginning, go in with an open mind, clear your mind, kid. Like sit down and shut up. And then 2 episodes in, I'm hooked and I go through the whole first season in like one day. And then the next day, you just binge watch even more. I've watched it 3 times all the way through now.
Oh my God. Get a wife. Good Lord. No wonder she left 3 times to sit down and watch that long ass boring show. Good Lord.
And then he did a podcast about it.
Did he really? That's right. Wasn't the guy supposed to come on and be a part of his show?
Yeah, he met Kit Harington, and he was going to start doing a podcast with the main guy on the show, Jon Snow.
What I love about a Wangland story is he told us, like, earlier on, he said, I did that with Game of Thrones earlier on, and then they talked a bit more, and then he decided to go like a minute-long story explaining what he'd already said in about 3 words earlier. But it has to be a long, meandering story that goes nowhere, that just explains that in the first place he wasn't really interested, but then he decided to watch it. Great.
You know, I'd like to talk to one person right now if I can, and that's Brother Martin. And if I were you, my friend,
a sentence no one's ever
I'd
said.
feel very disappointed and very disrespected by one John Wangland, because why can't you be a part of these random conversations? You've got a lot to say. So if I were you, you're trying to start some new wrestling venture on your own, I would feel greatly slighted by one John Wangland if I were you. This is quite disrespectful that he picked Richie Reardon, his best friend, to be the part of the random conversations that you could have filled very well.
I 100% agree with that. And I will say one thing, what as retarded as you may think Brother Martin is, one thing he brings energy. Brother Martin brings energy, unless he's, the famous go to bed episode of Get My Go, like he
in the bathtub.
Yeah, he's had his struggles, but when Brother Martin comes on, he brings energy, and Richie Reardon does not. He is fucking, what do they call it? Fucking Solmers? He's Solmers for
he's audio NyQuil is what he is.
Yeah.
The only thing Martin struggles with is trying to fit his fat wife in the frame for OnlyFans pictures.
God.
I need you to lift your legs up a little higher so we can see all of your cunt flap.
Next.
How come that's not a part of random conversations?
Random conversations.
Conversations? Giant conversations.
Giant circumferences.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
It really is. And at first, I didn't think it was good.
Hold on. Go ahead.
He's talking about a dick up his arse.
No, this clip is really short. It just made me chuckle. That's all.
It really is. And at first, I didn't think it was going to really take off. I was like, I don't think it's going to really take off.
Thanks. Well, but did it, though? Did it take off?
Well, at least he wasn't lying. Like, he really... Case closed.
So was he talking about the dick, or was he talking about Game of Thrones still?
That was bare knuckle boxing, I think.
When I seen my wife go back to the airport, I thought, she's not going to leave me, and the plane isn't going to take off, but oh, fuck, she's gone.
I wish we could pixelate that flag behind him. It is hurting me to look at that every single
I'll
time.
I'll try to.
Oh, God. I'm talking about behind Wangland. No, the Met flag. It's killing me. It's absolutely killing me.
A lot of people.
It very well could be, and he has his new stout beer that he's been pushing out too.
I haven't got to try it yet.
I saw a video of it with him drinking. It looks pretty tasty, and I'm not a big drinker, but I'm not a big into like the Guinnesses or anything like that. But I'll say it looks pretty decent.
Okay. So what are the chances that Conor McGregor, the guy that massively financially would benefit from the success of a drink, would have his own drink and go, that's good stuff. Hey, man. That's all I needed to hear there, man. Sold. Nice cream, a mouthful of cream from another man. I'm in.
So John's trying to tell us then the commercial made the product seem appetizing. Is that what it did? That's what it did for purchase?
Okay, I was going to say, I'm about to make this beer look really delicious.
Oh, man, I could use that.
So Jim Jones could have made Kool-Aid look pretty damn good if he just held it in front of him like,
Flavor Aid.
Oh, this is some great Kool-Aid. Let's go drink it together as a group.
Come on, Chad. Flavor Aid. Know your history.
Yeah, man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Can I just get that joke out? You son of a bitch. Why don't you go dip your head that way so it disappears?
That's not nice.
It stayed. Damn it.
Damn it.
So
the only IPA I've ever liked is the Broken Skull one.
I've never had it.
Dude.
Good.
I don't like IPAs. I make fun of people that drink them.
Yeah.
Supposedly it gives you estrogen and shit like that. So I always talk shit to my friends that do it, and I'm like, I save money drinking Coors
they go
Light.
they go to the fucking microbrewery and spend about $8 on a pint of beer.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm like, dude, just drink Coors Light or Miller.
I got
So he's over there. So Wangland, he says IPAs give people estrogen, and he makes fun of people that drink them. And behind there, Wangland's got his mug, and he's going like this because he doesn't want to see him drinking the IPA.
I thought these were cool. Fuck.
Pineapple orange rhubarb twist.
I know they're always telling me peanut butter and jelly fucking IPA. I'm like, dude, just hand me a fucking beer and shut up.
Have the oatmeal cookie beer. Fuck.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have an oatmeal cookie, I'll have a fucking oatmeal cookie. I don't want a fucking oatmeal cookie.
Told you.
Yeah, dude,
seriously.
Dude, I hate, like, there's nothing worse than a buddy of yours that you're like cool with coming around and going, you want to try this fucking sugar cookie, goddamn?
Yeah.
Dude? And you're just like,
I said oatmeal cookie, stupid.
Dude?
See, what are you fucking doing? What are you doing with your life, man?
You order your beer at Starbucks now, or what the fuck? Like,
my stepsister, I love her to death. She's into all the IPAs and stuff, and occasionally, you know, they're more into that scene or going out and stuff. And I'm a single dad with a kid, so I don't get that opportunity to go out much or anything like that, or at all. Very rarely, and it's fine by me. But occasionally I'll get a chance to go out with them, and they'll have they'll say, "Come on, let's go out to the brewing company here," or whatever it is, and you'll see them. Oh, this is the apricot wheat, and I'll say, I always go to them when I go there. I go, what's like a Coors Light or a Miller Lite? And they're like, oh, they call it the beer tree around here. They'll be
like, go down to the Circle K down the street.
No, they'll say, you could try the Tree Light Ultra, and I'm like, okay, give me a fucking Tree Light Ultra. Let's see if this thing tastes like a Miller Lite or a Coors Light or whatever. But yeah, I'm not one of those people you want to take.
They just slap a sticker over the fucking Coors Light logo and call it Tree Light Ultra.
Seriously. People always make fun of me, like when I drink, they'll be like, oh, you like drink a piss water. Fuck off.
I'd take my piss. My piss water's been loyal to me, and I'm loyal to it, sir. So there's been many a good nights on that piss water.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, surprisingly, Wingling refused to mention Bud Light. So he hits, who's. Yeah, like, what the fuck was that? So just because he's separated from his wife, who I'm going to try to bang, it doesn't mean that he can't go out and have fun. Hey, these people invite me to go out and socialize, and I'm like, no, I've got to stay in and review SmackDown episode 75 with Chris Martin at 3 a.m. there, man. Like, leave the house. You don't have to podcast all the time. I'm going to see Tenacious D tomorrow.
What I love is, like, let me bring a halt to this and let me just go on a long meandering story and then tag a joke we stopped doing 5 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Like, he told this long story to just go, apricot beer, man.
I drink something that had 2 big plums on it there, man.
That was so uninteresting and went on for so long and got less funny for me to make fun of as it went on because there was so much to cover that I lost it. It was so bad. Welcome back.
Chad, who would have known without listening to Random Conversations that light beer drinkers make fun of IPA drinkers and vice versa? I never knew that. Now I know better.
Well, what I love is Richie's such a fucking mark that he hates IPAs except Broken Skull IPA. Yeah, fucking loser.
Dean, it's fucking fine. I'm not backing Rich, but I'm like, he's like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. If you ever see it, buy it. Yeah. But it's nothing. It's a fucking beer. You know what I mean? Like,
go to a brewery, get a fucking paddle of fucking samples.
Yeah.
Pick the one you like and get a few pints of it. Shut the fuck up.
Boom.
His daughter's got to be like 15 now. Why? It's not like it's
apparently she's about to get a license or something. So yeah.
So why he doesn't have to stay home with her
to the point where Husey.
oh Jesus!
Music is about 3,500 songs. I heard.
Wow.
Tupac's unreleased stuff was maybe 400 or 500 songs. I mean, think of that. I mean,
it's a lot.
It's just crazy. The guy was on a different level.
That's why I always say the greatest tragedy in life is wasted talent.
Wasted talent. That's exactly what I think of when I think of that. I'm just like, Jesus, man.
I always look at it. I know she had a great career too, but if we're looking at it from a music perspective, Whitney Houston. I mean, the woman had the greatest voice probably ever. Beautiful voice, beautiful person. Beautiful. In many different ways to many people, but just battled those demons, man, and lost her fight to the demons.
Yeah, I'd like to have dinner with her.
Sorry.
By the way, I'm glad that John's seen a fucking Bronx Tale.
I was just gonna say that.
Oh yeah, get the fuck. The biggest thing, the biggest waste in life is wasted talent.
Yeah, Chaz Palmentieri. He thanks you, and you probably owe him about $500 that you used his quote wrong, by the way, in the wrong context. But fuck you, man. He sucks.
You know, I always say there, man, if you open the door for the girl and she doesn't reach over and unlatch the lock, then that's a waste there, man.
I couldn't tell who was doing that for a second. I started looking up and down.
Yeah, all right. I set up the wrong clip there. The football was coming next, but what I loved about that was like a beautiful voice, a beautiful person, a beautiful.
That's it. Yeah.
Just, it grossed him out to say beautiful face. I think is what.
Yeah, she died in a bathtub.
Yeah,
cracked out of her brains, drowning because she was so high that she couldn't get out of the damn bathtub. So yeah, beautiful.
And then her daughter did the same thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Her daughter died the exact same way.
Yeah, and fucking Whitney Houston's voice changed because she got older. So what the fuck did Wangland sound like when he was younger?
Hey there, man.
Hey there, man. I'm gonna sign up and enlist there, man.
Is there? And of course, I have to be bleep for this. But is there any chance that when he was in the military and he was like had a position of authority, that the guys underneath him didn't call him Sergeant Fagland? I mean, it's just clearly what happened.
Yeah. That's just immature.
Come on, Joe. We're much more highbrow than that.
No, not today.
I'd love to see his intake photo, like the day he enlisted.
He's probably got a big fist right on the side of his face.
What about football? You a football fan?
You've known him for 5 years, dude. You know if he likes football or not.
He's a dude. Richie's about to give the most annoying response. You either like football or you don't. Don't give this fucking bullshit fucking response. Anyway,
I can guess it. Yeah,
I'm gonna guess that it's he loves football, but then the woke politics have made him not a fan.
He loves football. Oh, he got it already.
They don't kneel for the anthem, so I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the old. He loves football, but goddamn, it's not like the old gridiron smash mouth football he loves.
No,
dude, look at John. Look at that screenshot of John there. That may be the drawing. Look at that lopsided.
No, you got to go that laughing face, dude. That laughing face.
Yeah, the maniacal laugh is the.
Nothing beats that.
Ever since the kneeling stuff came out, I've kind of stayed away from football. I didn't really appreciate all that. It's their right to do it and use their platform for whatever they want. And it's my right to turn it off when I don't like it. I know a lot about football as far as up until about 2008. You ask me anything about Niners or Cowboys or Cardinals or anything like that, I'm going to know it. But as far as keeping up with it now, I don't. I think it's turned into a total shit show.
The draft was this week for anybody that's a football.
The draft was this week.
Yeah,
either anyone there,
hey,
man.
Your co-host just said he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. I'm just going to soldier on then. Whatever. 2008, you'd say? Well, this week it was the draft, so we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. For anyone that's a football fan, the draft was this week. It's like, yes, they know.
Yeah, exactly.
So he stopped watching in 2008. He's not a fan of football because of the kneeling. Colin Kaepernick kneeled for the first time in 2016.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So the timeline, little bit off.
I don't remember the last time I watched the national anthem in a fucking. I don't think they should even play the national anthem anymore. Like, who gives a fuck?
They
like,
do play a national anthem now.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that
why do you need to play a national anthem? Just play the fucking game, you morons. Why do you give a fuck what's going? You either enjoy the game or you don't.
Get out of here, you commie Australian. We love our flag.
Yeah, it does mean a little bit of something when they play it. So, I mean, come on.
I'm not saying it. Well, no. You guys got such a horn for your national anthem. Get over it. It's
should be
a
on a
shitty
no-fly
song.
list.
It's not a good song. It's not a good song at all.
Big stadium. It's pretty nice.
Get over yourselves.
Liberal Australia is infecting your mind.
Dean, watch, Google or go on YouTube and look up Chicago Blackhawks national anthem, and you will see.
No, dude, don't get me wrong. When people sing it in unison in a crowd, that's always great. But that's great for anything. When I hear a crowd sing "Seek and Destroy" together, like it sounds amazing. You know what I mean? It's not a great song. It's just you guys Got a fucking horn for it.
I would
Anyway,
like to I would like to call back a few moments to when we were talking about the lovely voice of one Whitney Houston.
She sang it
when
beautifully.
she sang the national anthem. It gave John Wangland a boner.
Young Johnny.
Yeah, when talented people do talented things, it's great.
And they don't waste it.
And they do that on a football field. The national anthem has nothing to do with the game of football. Go fuck yourself.
What about God? They're always thanking God.
Fuck God.
Ooh,
you don't get a touchdown without God.
All right, Dean, this is the final clip. What do you got for us here?
Yeah, so this is so they finally got to World War III, and this is the only clip I cut from the World War III discussion. This is them talking about Russia and Vladimir Putin, and yeah, there's post-production here, Mike. You're gonna have to pull up a map and shit. It's pretty important.
Now, the one thing I will credit them on in this new enterprise that they're doing is, Brother Martin and John together. It's like they're two peas in a pod. They agree with everything the other says.
Yeah.
Now, Richie, as you know, is a extreme right wing, and John is more.
Allegedly.
How would you classify John?
Pussy.
Yeah.
Liberal nut job.
Yeah. I sat back and waited for you to say it, but that's what I was going to say.
Politically, how?
Snowflake, liberal, nut job, psychopath.
Yeah. I would think to hear them debating politics would be somewhat interesting compared to John.
You'd think.
Martin.
You'd think that.
First Democratic election, and because he didn't want to side against Russia. And trust me, we're not condoning Putin. That guy's a piece of shit too. You know,
It is, but I can at least understand his side of.
Okay, maybe Richie does have a microphone because he got louder when he went forward again. But that's
he's surrounded, man.
He's surrounded, and if you look on a map and you look what they're doing strategically, they're cutting Russia off.
Yes, 100,000%. And I'm not supporting them. I don't agree with Putin and the Kremlin and all that stuff. I don't.
No.
Yeah.
He's an ex-KGB and stuff like that. He's a bad guy. He's done bad things. But you know what? I respect his leadership more than our own right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with John. I didn't care for Gremlins either, but Gremlins 2, the new batch, that was had Hulk Hogan in it. That was pretty good.
That's true. 100,000%.
So the post-production there, Mike, is when John says, I agree with you, they're surrounded. If at that point you could pop up a map of Russia, and maybe we could do some NFL Telestrator where you go from here all the way around here is fucking ocean. How the fuck are they surrounded? You morons.
In theory.
Well, that's the guy who thought that Africa was a country.
That's true.
That's the guy who thought his wife loved him.
How long was this episode in its original form?
World War III was like an hour and 15.
Wow. Holy crap.
But it took until 55 minutes to get to the World War III talk.
Oh,
I think they talk more UFC than they did World War III. I would say that. And they did 9/11. The most recent episode was they covered 9/11 on the 23-year, 6-month, and 12-day anniversary of 9/11. They decided to cover 9/11, and I love Richie. Richie does his research. He's all fucking planned and all that. Richie said that it's the first time in history that 2 buildings collapsed via fire, and fire alone. That's a quote from Richie Reardon. Fire alone brought down the World Trade Centers. No planes involved, just fire alone. And most people don't know that 3 buildings went down that day in New York City. Most people don't know that there was Tower 7 went down as well.
Whoa.
No. That's news to me.
Never heard.
Yeah, it's brand new information thanks to Richie Reardon a week ago.
Living right across the river while all it happened. I didn't know that even was a thing.
No, Richie does his research. Fire alone, though, by the way. Fire alone brought down the World Trade Center.
Fire. The two World Trade Center buildings went down, but thankfully for Wangland, the Blue Flamingo was scratchless.
There was one episode where I watched a little bit of it, and you get the sense that Richie actually says it's therapeutic for him to talk about wrestling with John. And I mean, I don't know how that would help anybody therapeutically. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, this is therapeutic going back to talk about them talking about it. So I don't know, maybe.
But you get the sense that like Richie really needs someone to talk to, like, you know, like a good friend.
But he's always
John's
referencing. He's always referencing like, oh, you know, and this buddy and that buddy.
Yeah.
Is that just? Does he really not have friends, or is he really referencing real people?
Buddy. Well, we already talked about somebody's buddy turning their back on the other one. So, Brother Martin, if you're listening to this, you have some little investigating to do because I want to know why you are not a part of Random Conversations.
Well, Brother Martin,
now, let me just say this. Do not ever message me to say why, but I would love to know why.
Sorry, also, it is official. John announced Richie as his best friend. So
old as ice.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. If Brother Martin just tuned into that episode and heard that, it's got to be cutting.
Yeah, but do they still have their championship belts that they had as the tag team champions of fig collecting?
That's a good point. You can't ever break up a good tag team. Yeah,
Brother Martin does have a new show that he started in the wake of John and Richie reuniting. It's called Passion for Pro Wrestling with Brother Martin. And
So it's the same thing.
And it's on Amazon Music. It's on Spotify. It's not on Apple Podcasts, but you can find it. I think it's on the Retro Revival Facebook channel. So there is still some kind of affiliation between them. So
thank God.
Yeah, he's still on.
And we all know. I'm sure we all know that Brother Martin has denounced religion. He is
a Satanist.
Wow.
He's an atheist now.
Now, why is that? Please give me the Cliff Notes version.
Because his wife's ugly.
Because you got to work. You got to.
It's because of all the religious political people. I think. Yeah. I think that's the gist of it. He hates Donald Trump. He hates Donald Trump, and people that like Donald Trump like Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's just setting it up for the big comeback. And then he'll be like, no. Jesus again. This boom, I'm saved. Check it out.
It's gonna be like,
send me some money.
When Dustin Rhodes was the was the preacher, and then would say Gold Dust was coming back. Is that what it's going to be?
Yes.
Same thing. Very, very deep reference for the
Brother Martin will be back. Yes.
Brother Martin invited me on his new wrestling show to talk NWA, so I may take him up on that.
Oh no, Mike.
Yeah.
What?
Where are you going to take him?
Can you imagine me I would be on the Wrestling Revival channel.
That's true. I don't know how.
That's a real infiltration right there. So it's got to happen.
That would be part of Random Conversations. That would be a talking point.
Yeah.
That could cause World War IV.
Where did Dean go?
Piss. Take a piss.
He went to take a piss. Where the Random Conversations podcast should end up being pissed and shit on and flushed down a toilet, whether it's in Australia going in the opposite direction or in America or the rest of the world in the other direction. That's where Random Conversations should end up. What a shit, horrible podcast idea and awful way to spend an hour and 20 minutes.
All right, so I want predictions from everybody. How long do you think this new podcast will go? How many episodes do you think it'll go?
5.
At the same time?
Yeah, Chad.
5.
9.
9?
I'll go with 10.
I think it's going to be like the Leave It to Beaver podcast where they start out strong and then it's just going to dip. Like if you look right now, they were doing, John and Stan the Man were doing 2 shows a week and then it just slowed down and then they took a 2-month break because John was wife hunting in the jungles of some small Asian country.
Jesus Christ.
You should put the Tarzan behind that.
Oh my God!
John was doing the Kenny Bolin, where he went to a small Asian country.
Well, what did he come back with and smuggled inside his suitcase?
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Well, I ain't gonna get fooled again.
Yeah. So 2 months break, and then they did one 13 days ago, and then 7 days ago. So that seems that they've slowed down. But
I'm going. They're in for the long haul. I think at least. I think they're going at least 20.
So it's going to be a long romance.
Yeah, they clearly do love just talking to each other.
Yeah.
So and it's like their schedules seem to match up. I know the problem with Brother Martin and John was like it's a scheduling conflict because Brother Martin's working overnights now at Walmart, so they can't seem to get everything lined up. But I think John and Richie are on the same, kind of schedule. So, but John is a single dad, So hopefully that won't interfere with it too much.
You know, if you look back, like I said before, what's almost 5 years, 4 years, whatever the fuck. And even before that, like when John left Creative Control, like everybody kind of told him or predicted, like, well, this is a terrible idea, and he should have probably just stayed with the group, and then everybody can help everybody. And if you think about it, everybody that's on here now, pretty much, I think, has at least made $1 by associating with the other somehow, you know. And even John made a couple of bucks back then, but I'm like, do you think he would have been better off staying with us, or was he going to fail no matter what?
Fail.
Yeah.
I would argue I've made revenue, but I've not made $1 profit.
Well, they're paying money. Like they have to pay money to be on these, you know, quote unquote radio. So, and then they try and make it seem like they're making money off Facebook views, and that money from Facebook pays for their radio spots that they.
I don't think it's too bad Husey dropped there. Maybe one of you guys will know. I don't think if you look at their shit that their Facebook would have even qualified. But I don't know. Yeah. Even though I run a Facebook page, I have no idea.
Husey Entertainment on YouTube, the Keeping It 100 official on YouTube that Husey runs. He's got an Instagram. I don't know the handle on that one, but
I think it's the Husey there as well.
Yeah, the Husey.
Yeah.
And what else?
With a Z.
With a Z. With a Z. Zed. What else about Keeping It 100?
There's a fucking lot.
You're on a new network.
Yeah, we're on Believe. That's fucking been pretty fantastic. You got the patreon.com/Conan, the YouTube
or
Mike
also
already mentioned.
Conan.me, which is easier.
Conan.me. Mike's selling his Conan figurines too, so don't forget about MikeDurbin.com.
They're really great as far as figurines go.
Yeah.
I love that quote. That is
Matt Cardona put it over as being a good figurine as far as figurines go.
Yeah, it's fucking tremendous.
Yeah, it's always like Wangland, you know. I said it was a great figurine, and then I thought it was a great figurine.
Well, with that being said, perhaps the perfectly rated shirt may be making a return to the merchandise. Huh?
What about the show?
Show dead as a doornail, but the shirt may be back for sale very soon. Thanks to my good old buddy, the one and only franchise Shane Douglas, popularizing that T-shirt. People asking him where they could get it. So the shirt may be making a comeback. So yeah, I see you laughing because you saw.
I remember.
It.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. You were at the damn show.
Oh my god!
If you were at the
first off, they didn't let anybody in for like an hour, so I missed a bunch of shit. And then when I was in there, I mean, it's just. I knew what I was buying tickets for, but it's the whole show wasn't very good.
Is this like when I stepped on your plugs, by the way?
No, I just I saw a picture like a week ago, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I was like, well, "I wonder where that." I'm like, "Was that the arena?" Like I remember being.
Why did they let anybody in?
They had some fucking late start. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to be authentic, but at that point, I remember looking. And I was talking to people at the bar and whatever, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on out there?" And it was like, "Oh, it's Shane against who was it? Al Snow."
CW.
I missed the CW. I missed the whole fucking match, so I missed the shirt. But I would have popped.
He's wearing it now at all shows, all his matches. He's wearing my shirt. So people are asking him about it. Bringing it back.
All right, Chad. What else?
Eyes Up Here on iHeartRadio. Subscribe. It's dropping now 2 times a week. We got a flashback episode, sometimes featuring new bonus content. And our main episode every single Tuesday, iHeartRadio or your favorite podcast app. But don't forget us on YouTube as well. We just dropped the video version of our interview with the Sandman, talking about his Dark Side of the Ring episode, where he talks in depth about what they cut out and who they interviewed that did not make the final cut. So it's very it's very detailed. And the Sandman, I tell you something, for all the stuff that's talked about on the show and everybody said he should be dead, this guy's more alive than he's ever been.
Yeah.
So check it out on Eyes Up Here. And if you want to follow the old Chadster on X, it is at Chad ENB, IANB.
YouTube.com/@United States of Australia. That is my show, or our show. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. We're a team over there at the United States of Australia. And I can proudly announce that some stage soon there will be an update to the podcast feed, because I did send Joe an episode today, and there will be more to come. I won't get into the minutia of all went wrong, but we're back on track. The podcast feed is back on track, but we generally go live on YouTube at least once every 2 weeks. But we've been doing them a lot more regular lately. Go check out our most recent episode with Lucy Tightbox from WATP. We reviewed the film Chopper, which is about a notorious Australian criminal, and he is a fascinating character. And it was interesting to hear everyone's takes on this psychopathic person. So check that out. That is the latest one to go up on the podcast feed. Check out United States of Australia on all your favorite podcast apps and on YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit like, comment on our videos, please, please, please. We're trying to gain subscribers and all that shit. So do that. I'm thinking, speaking of merch, I've got my merch, but my current shirt. But Mike, I'm going to talk to you about maybe putting that on a shirt, my background. I think maybe get rid of the old shirt and go to that one. I think it's a much better logo and will look much better on a shirt. But if you're interested in supporting me merch wise, Mike Durbin's Pro Wrestling Tee Store, prowrestlingtees.com/Mike Durbin. Get at that Sussy Guy t-shirt, because on X I am at that Sussy Guy. Just imagine that Aussie guy and put an S where the A should be.
Where is it?
You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Durband, at Get My Go Show, at Conan Bendy, and go over to MikeDurband.com where you can get the Conan Mike Durband Productions exclusive Major Bendy's figurine. And Dean, what was it again? It's a great figurine.
It's a great figurine as far as figurines go.
Yes. I have autographed ones for $60, and the non-autographed ones are $35. And if you want to get a loose one, I think it's $25. No packaging, no card, just the figures, $25. Free shipping to anywhere in the United States. Also, coming up on MikeDurband.com, I'm going to be selling some autographed cards with my photography on them. The first one will be Matt Cardona. Here's what it's going to look like. It's going to be an autographed card. I'm going to get 25 of them autographed by him. And then here is the Brian Myers one. So that'll be coming up after that. And then hopefully an EC3 one after that, and who knows who else. All right, that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Matt Wilson. Thank you, Dean, for clipping this.
Can you give me some sort of producer credit on this episode, Mike?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Thanks.
Definitely will.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Take us out, Chad. Hey, one more thing. I would like to thank Chad for returning to the show. The last 2 episodes, I think we had Nice Chad, who I do not like at all.
Not a big fan either. But unfortunately, he might have to come back sooner or later. Unfortunately,
but we know who we can blame for that one, don't we?
No.
Yeah, we did. California love.
I thought you were talking about some 90s douchebag or something.
No, that's me, and I wear that like a badge of honor. That is the greatest compliment anybody's ever paid me. But we got to get out of here for today. He has already departed, but we miss him already. The H-Man is left. So, but give his plugs. Follow him at, what is it? You did? Oh, sorry, I dropped off myself. But for the Husey, for the Feeney, for the Aussie Guy, and for the Mike Durband, I am the Chadster. We will catch you next time on the flip side.
Don't end record yet, because I want to give Mikey a little something to put at the end. Do you think a California episode might cost me my brand Hall of Fame?
Very nice.
Question. Bro, you interrupt every fucking day on everything we do.
Finish the question.